guys, Sanibonani, Dumelang, hope you are well. Kamalam Govusakamhlongo and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, you are most welcome, and if you're returning, thank you for your continuous love and support. I truly appreciate you. This is the long awaited for sit down video that I promised last year. I was like, actually, after that, answering the questions in the car last week, I was like, actually, I might as well just sit down and do this video. Like I said, also, I didn't receive a lot of questions. Instead, I thought, let me share just a few life lessons that I've learned. And through those lessons, I would share my stories. And in that way, you also get to know me better. So it's gonna be things like from life lessons, financial lessons, relationships, money lessons. It's gonna be a mixed masala of I'm gonna touch, it's not a specific topic, we're touching relationships. No, we're touching everything. We're gonna talk about money, we're gonna talk about friendships, we're gonna talk about self-care, self-development, and all of that. All right. And yeah, I'm also, as I'm going through the lessons, I had actually titled this things I've observed, learned, or no, but it's just things I've learned. Truth be told, it's things I've learned over the years. As a very old 30, how old am I this year? Oh, I'm still 35. As a 35-year-old, let's get into it. Number one is the importance of discipline. The importance of discipline in one's life. Like, if you're a person who's not disciplined, you will suffer in this life, and I'll tell you why. Like I said, I'm also going to be sharing my life stories as I share some of these things, and to see how it ties together. Every time I think of discipline or I hear discipline, it always takes me back to varsity. In varsity, I was a very nonchalant. I was very nonchalant. I was life of a party. If you were feeling down, I was your girl. If you wanted to have fun, I was your girl. If you wanted to yap your life away, I was also your girl. For me, discipline, they go hand in hand with boundaries, but I'll get to boundaries later, and how I was forced to have boundaries in my life. We will attend classes, obviously, during the day. And if you've been to varsity, you can attend during the day. You go to classes, and after classes, to survive in varsity, you need to put in the work. You need to go to the library afterwards. You can even study in your room and all of that. And me, because I was being me, what used to happen is after, from 6 to my 7 to my 8, sometimes to about 10 at night, to 10 at night, I will have visitors in my room. We will gather there. We will yap our lives away. It will be fun. And by the time everyone is gone, I am tired. I just want to sleep. That means I wasn't studying at night. And you know what was happening? Some of the people who were coming to my room, they were actually on study breaks. They were coming just to fill in their cups with some fun times. They are on a study break. Maybe they've been studying from 5 to 8, and they're gonna come to my room. It's gonna be fun, good times. And then from there, they are going back to their books. I mean, I've been hosting here. I have been hosting from 6. I've been hosting until 10, until 11 at night. Yeah, sometimes we're gonna go walk, buy food, we're gonna go, go busy doing everything but what I was there to do. That was when I was at UP, by the way. If you remember the Get to Know Me first video, it's my second video, I did say that I used to go to UP. Now you understand why I left. That was me lacking discipline, because if I had discipline, I was surrounded by kids who had discipline. They knew why they were there, and they were studying. They had planned study times. I didn't. I was just winging it. I'll study now because I have a test coming up. I'll study now because I have an assignment that I need to do. I was just winging it. But I didn't have a set time. I start studying from this time to this time every day, or these are the days I've set aside aside for studying. And it's not only studying, it's just everything in life. If you are not disciplined and you are not setting time apart to achieve your goals, obviously in varsity the goal is to graduate. So if you are not putting an effort and discipline and time to achieve that, unfortunately you're not. If you have a goal, you want to lose weight, and you haven't set a time apart to say, okay, on Monday to Sunday, which days I go to gym and what time I go to gym, unfortunately it's not gonna happen. If you haven't set time to meal prep, to organize and plan your meals and your food. You see the importance of discipline. Exactly. All right, let's move to the next plan. I hope I'm making sense and I hope you are hearing me. Second point is having a bigger picture. It's important to have what I call a bigger picture, or your higher self. Just who do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself? And who do you see yourself as? As a mom, what type of a mom do you see yourself as? Like, when you imagine a mother, what type of a mother do you see yourself as? If you think of an auditor, what type of an auditor are you? What type of an auditor do you see yourself as? Type of a business woman do you see yourself as? When you have that picture in your head, it helps you navigate. Even when you are off ramping, it's easy to see, because now you will not be aligned to that bigger picture. I'm gonna be using, I think it's easy to use weight. If you wanna lose weight, if your bigger picture, you see yourself as in a particular weight. Once you off ramp, start eating things you shouldn't be eating, and you stop going to gym, obviously now you're not aligned to your bigger picture, and therefore unfortunately you might not achieve that goal. So it's important to always have that in your mind, that it has helped me. That's something that has helped me to always like have a bigger picture. Where's my brush? Can't find my makeup brush. There we go. So I found that it is very important. It's something that has helped me a lot as well, just to have that idea of what I'm trying to achieve and what does it look like. The goal I'm trying to achieve, how does it align to me? How does it look like for me? And all of that. So yeah, point number 3 is, I did say we're gonna be all over the place. This is it. If you are owing and you are getting phone calls, you're owing the bank, you are owing store account, clothing account, and they're calling you, answer that phone. Answer that phone, talk to those people, be honest about your situation. Be honest about your situation and make arrangements. They're literally not gonna beat you up. They're literally not gonna do anything to you. They just want their money. That's all they want. It's better you making an arrangement with them and organizing and paying them back than you ignoring them. I think I did share that when I was in varsity, I had a store account with Identity. That's why I had a store account with Identity. I had no business having an account as a student. And obviously, I was gonna struggle paying that thing back. And I did struggle paying it back, and got to a point where Identity used to call me every day. Identity will be calling, I'll be ignoring them. And until this other time, Umfana asked me, why are you ignoring them? Just answer the phone and speak to them and tell them the truth. And I did. I answered the phone and I told them, listen, this is my situation. I'm still in school. But what I can do, I can pay this amount of money. This is what I can afford to pay at the moment. We made an arrangement, we organized, and stick to arrangements. Once you've made an arrangement, honor that arrangement. Don't just make arrangements and don't honor them. Make arrangements, honor them, and you'll be fine. It really helped me and saved me in terms of not getting blacklisted. Imagine you haven't even started working, you haven't even started earning money. You are already blacklisted because you made one stupid decision when you were young. So that really helped me a lot. It really helped me. So if you are also in that situation, I will highly advise that. I know it's embarrassing, it's not nice, it's not a nice place to find yourself in, but answer that phone and make an arrangement. Be honest and make an arrangement. Number 4 is the importance of fighting for yourself. I've seen how it is important to fight for yourself, regardless of what happened, who did you wrong, what went wrong, how you were raised. At the end of the day, you are the one responsible for your life. You are the one responsible for the life you want to live. Ultimately, you are in charge of your life. If you don't move around like you're in charge of your life, things will fall apart. So it's very important to fight for yourself. You are the main character in your life. And if you don't walk around like you are the main character, you are just bandla. This life will dribble you. If you are not taking ownership of your life, you are just moving mad. You will struggle. You will struggle. If you got hurt and you are hurting, what can you do to heal yourself? How can you heal yourself? Because you can't be walking around bleeding. How do you take care of nature yourself and heal yourself? If there is something you want to achieve, what can you do? When a self, one man, what can you do to achieve that? What is it that you need to achieve that goal? What is it that you need to heal? What can you do that can heal you? It's all those things. Just being intentional, living with intention, not just being in charge of your life. That's what I mean. Is knowing what are your needs, what do you need, what is important to you to enjoy this life, all of that, not just and nope. These are things these are questions I had to ask myself. These are things I had to sit down with myself and go through. I'm literally sharing from my experience, like like I had at some point I had to take ownership of my life because my mom wasn't gonna do that for me. I grew up, and also for me, I grew up from Kwakok, my grandmother's house, cousins. And if you grew up in such a setup, you know that adults are there, but adults in such situations are not really nurturing. They're not really, no one cares so much about your dreams like that. No one is there for you to support you like that. The important thing in such situations is that you have food, you go to school, you have to fend for yourself. So that when they're fighting for yourself, for me, I learned from that because I had to remove myself from the home situation and decide as Ubosi, what type of a life do I want to live and what can I do to live that life. And I think I've done well. I'm not where I want to be, but I think I've done well. So, it's very important. Fight for yourself and for your goals and for the life you want to live. Point number 5 is have boundaries. Because if you don't have boundaries, this life will show you flames. I've seen flames because of my lack of boundaries. From family to friends, boundaries are your limits. If you don't know your limits and you don't put walls around you to protect you so that people don't touch your limits, some people they will touch, people they will take, people they will do whatever. So it's important to protect yourself, to have those boundaries. I used to be just, you know what, let's all live, it doesn't work like that. You have to protect yourself. A lack of boundaries go hand in hand with people pleasing. I was a massive people pleaser. Oh, I was terrible. And you know what? There is no reward for being a people pleaser. That is said, being a people pleaser is exactly the same thing as being a pick-me. There is no reward for those things. At the end of the day, you are the one who's gonna pay. People, they will come, they will take, and they'll go about their lives. And when now you will be left there by yourself, feeling head counting. Ukuti party, I did this, I did that. And also, which comes with people pleasing. I always, now that I'm aware, I'm like, did you do those things because you wanted to do them? Because you were a good person, or did you do them because you were trying to buy love, you were trying to get accepted, you were trying to avoid the rejection? What was your goal? Like, what were you trying to achieve? I had to sit down with myself and assess, like, the things I'm doing, why am I doing them? Like, for real, what's the reason I'm doing certain things? Most of the things, it was out of fear of rejection. You'll find now you're extending yourself too thin because you are trying to impress, we are trying to please, and it doesn't help. I always share that I if there's one thing I am scared of, is a person asking to come and stay with me. It's my biggest trigger. You know, when a person asks to come and stay with me, let's say now, like, no, I got a job in Joburg or in Pretoria, I need a place to stay, maybe for a month before I get paid. I panic, literally I panic, because I've been bent. I used to have friends come and stay with me. Person would lose their job, instead of them going back home. Me, because I'm kind, I'm like, no friend, don't go home, come and stay with me. How my house is open. Sometimes they won't even ask. I'll just be willingly open, like, no man, it's gonna be easy for you to get another job while you're at this side, then going back home. So come and stay with me. Let's look for another job for you. And people will come, they will stay. Obviously, if you are not working, I do not expect you to pay anything. I will be buying food, I will be paying for electricity, I will be doing everything. I have a huge trigger with Handy Andy. Hey, Handy Andy used to get finished. There was a time I felt like I was buying Handy Andy every week. It's like, yay, what's going on? But yeah, you know what's gonna happen? Because they didn't ask you, they're gonna get jobs and they're gonna leave. They would leave you like that, discard you. They've gotten what they've had. Sometimes they will do us, they will ask sometimes. A person will come desperate. You know what? I'm struggling with this and this. I do not have. I wanna come look for a job that side. Can I please come and stay with you while you open up your house again? And also, while you're opening up your house here, it's not communicated how long a person is gonna stay. What's the arrangement? You just open your house up, and then in that, people get entitled. I had one, she used to switch off the light at 9. Imagine you coming to a person's house, you were desperate for a place to stay, and then you are telling, it's time out 9 o'clock, when you sleep at 9. Guys, you see not having boundaries. You see not having boundaries, how people will take you for granted, how people will just walk all over you, because no sane person will come to another woman's house and have such rules. Because no friend, now I sleep at 9, so please let's switch off the lights. And its attitude is like, we need to switch off the lights. You know, it's such things. It's such things, man. It's such things. I get angry with myself. I'm like, why did I allow that? Why did I allow that? But I was a good person. They're all gone. All of them gone. I don't even have their numbers on my phone. We don't follow each other on social media. They gone. So you don't get anything. Being a people pleaser, zero boundaries, you do not get anything. You do not get anything in this life. Let me tell you. Protect yourself. Have boundaries in place. What are your limits? What are your no-go areas? And communicate those. And having boundaries is not being rude now and no, it's just your preferences. We all have our preferences. You have a way you like your tea. You have a way you like your steak. It's the same thing as life. How do you want to be spoken to? How do you want people to speak to you? How do you want to be addressed? If there's a way that people are addressing you and you're like, I actually don't like that. Yeah, communicate that. No, actually, I don't like the way you spoke to me. You teach people around you your boundaries. And sometimes it's how you even treat yourself. People, they will say, oh, you treat yourself like this, and they'll know how to move around you. But if you have no boundaries, you are just punyagangen. People, they can see that with all punyagangen, and they will treat you exactly like that. They will treat you exactly like that. Okay, we do as we please here. You are also not having boundaries for yourself. So have boundaries. What are your preferences? How do you want to be treated? What are your no-go areas? Communicate kindly and nicely. And if they don't want to honor your boundaries, or nothing, another thing is, if you just want to wake up and now you are a person with boundaries, people who are benefiting from you not having boundaries, they'll be angry at you because now they can't just take whatever they could take from you because now you have boundaries. They will say you have changed. They will say all sorts of things to make you feel bad and look bad because now they can't benefit from that version of yourself. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Point number 6. Number 6, pay off your debt. Leo phela nezikweletu. It's a no, mtase. It's a no. It's a no. It's a big no. Life happens. You get yourself in situations, but if you put down your salary, your income, if majority of your money is going towards paying off debt, store accounts. It's not a credit card. It's not even like big things, like your car, You can have like maybe you're paying for a house, a car. Those are normal debts to have. Hey, I'm wearing this makeup funny today. I'm not following my normal flow. We're not here for makeup. So, but if majority of your money is going towards paying store account clothes, when you have a chunk percentage of your money that is going towards paying debt, no man, that's not life. That is not life. I've never been a person in debt. Yes, one thing about me, I'm scared of debt. So what I did do though, when I had a phone account and one store account. The typicals. When you start working, we are told you need to open. Oh yeah, I did pay off Identity when I started working, and I want nothing to do with them. They must never contact bank triggeration if anything. If I see Identity. But yeah, anyways, I had a store account and a phone, and a credit card when I started working, and I used the snowball effect to pay off my debt. So how it works is, with the snowball effect, if you don't know about it, I'm sure most of you will know about it. If you know about you have these 3 accounts. Let's say I pay 500 for the clothing account, I pay 1.5 for the phone, and I pay 2,000 for credit card, 2,000. So what you do is, here, if you have an additional money that you can add in this 500, you are still paying these 2 you are still paying them normally. This one, if you have maybe an extra 100 rands to pay, instead of paying 500, now you pay 600, 700 until you pay it off. And once you are done paying it off, the amount of money that you are paying here, you're gonna add here. So now instead of paying 1.5 here, you are paying now 2,000, just to push it so that it gets finished quicker. You saving interest as well. Especially it helps with things like your maybe a phone is not a good example, but yeah, you pay off here. Obviously, if we are adding an additional 700 in this 1.5 you are paying, you're gonna finish this debt quicker. And then once you have done paying this one, you take the 1.5 plus the 700, you add it here. You add here and you pay it off. Then you are done. And also, one thing about, once you start doing that and you see that the amount coming down, it's such a nice feeling. It is such a nice feeling, man. It makes you feel good. You can see, man, what you are doing, it's such a for me, I enjoyed it. Having a spreadsheet, just being honest with yourself. Have a spreadsheet, write everything down, everything that you are owing, and just work around with your money. Remember, this is your spreadsheet. It's yours. It's not for the public consumption, so you don't have to be shy or ashamed. It's literally you and you going through that. And yeah, I had to be honest, and then it's like, no, I don't want, this is not my portion. I don't want this. And that's how I paid it off. I paid it, and now it's a system that works. If I ever find now, oh wow, the way I want the iPhone 17 Pro Max, but having a new contract, I am so scared of a new contract. And contracts nowadays are 36 months. Saba iskweletu. Saba, be scared of debt. Don't just adding debt like hibo. No, man. So yeah, that's how I paid off my debt, and that's the method I used to pay off my debt. And I find it helpful. Maybe if you are also trying to pay off your debt, you can try it as well. It's called a snowball effect, snowball method. You can look it up and you'll find it. All right. Number 7, and I think we can all agree, if you've been part of this family on this one, get insurance. Insure your valuable things. If you don't know, last year they broke into this house and they took a number of valuable things, and because I had insurance, I was able to recover some of the things, especially the big things. I was able to get to buy those big things, and having insurance really helped me. So if you can get insurance for your valuable things, please get it. Please get insurance for your valuable things. You will thank me later. Oh, talking about insurance, they did pay for my phone. Something came up. I needed money, and the money came in. I was like, you know what? Let me just use this money. I loaned it. And I haven't paid it back. I haven't paid myself back. But yeah, like it's things like this. My phone fell last year, and to fix this, I think it was 13,000. That's a quotation I got. I was able to claim that from insurance. And they paid. When they broke in here, they also took my car keys. I was also able to claim from my car insurance for those keys. You see the importance of insurance. It's very important. I can't stress it enough, the importance of insurance. If you can, how I look at it, because sometimes I know people sometimes struggle because they feel like you are giving your money away to this insurance company. I look at it as like stokvel. We are all just putting money together, and something might not happen for me or in my life for 1-2 years of me having that particular insurance, but while things are not happening, bad things are not happening for me, they're happening for other people who are in the same pot of insurance. So I'm also helping those people, and the day something bad happens to me, they are now helping me in thingy, because money has to come somewhere, and it comes from us. We are all just putting money together to help each other. So it's like a stokvel. I look at it like stokvel. So yeah, if it didn't happen to me, it definitely happened to somebody else somewhere. Somebody had something happening. So I know that my premium, they didn't go to waste. They definitely went there to help that person who had a situation. So if you look at it like that, I found that it helps. At least when you are paying, you don't feel like you are just giving insurance your money. Why is this blush disappearing? Blush is disappearing. Point number, do I even know? Number 8 is self-care doesn't equate to self-love. How I personally measure self-love for me is, do I do what I said I was gonna do? Do I remove myself from situations that are not longer serving me? Do I protect myself and my peace? Do I fight for myself? Do I prioritize myself and my needs? Do I have boundaries in place, and have I communicated those boundaries? That's how I personally measure self-love. Yes, you can have a nice serum. Yes, you can put a nice mask, but are you showing up for yourself? Beyond the skincare, are you showing up for yourself? Are you doing things that you said you're gonna do? Because if you love yourself, you will do things you said you're gonna do. So that's how I personally measure self-love. And if I feel like, hey, in those areas, then maybe it's lacking. And I need to work on those areas. So for me, that's how I measure self-love. I don't know. How do you measure self-love? What are things that you can say you do that indeed they show that you love yourself? Make sure that you are debt free. It's another way of showing that, because if you are debt free, you can live in peace. You can enjoy the money that you work hard for. It's another way of loving yourself, living within your means. Stress-free life, man. Peaceful life, having that peaceful life. So if you are loving yourself and you are still getting yourself in chaotic situations, and you are not doing anything about, you find yourself in chaotic situations and you are not doing anything about it, maybe you don't love yourself as you claim you do. Maybe not yet. Not that you won't get there, but maybe you are not there yet. So yeah, that's how I measure self-love. Let's move on to the next point here. I love the blush though, I must say. Blush, I'm not sure if it's showing on the camera, but live, you can't buy love. Point number 9, you can't. You can give them your salary. Bring your pay slip, bank statement, and give them your cards to show this is my salary. If they don't like you, if they are not into you like that, unfortunately, you can't buy love. You can't buy love from family. You can't buy love from partners. You can't buy love from friends. If they are not into you like that, there's nothing on this earth, on God's earth, you can do that will make them change their minds about you. So I would advise that you do you. Make decisions that makes you happy. Prioritize yourself, because even if you prioritize them, if they don't feel you like that, shame. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can, there is absolutely nothing you can do for them to like you. Love is far to even like you. So rather, that money you were gonna use to buy their love, spend it on yourself. Spend it on yourself and do things that makes you happy. Because even if you give them your money, they'll still talk badly about you. It's better if they talk badly about you and they're not eating your money. Imagine people who are eating your money and they're talking mad about you. Make it make sense. Yeah, bo? So rather not. You can neglect your needs, making sure that they are fine. You can neglect your time that you should be using to rest, making sure that they are fine. Doesn't make any difference for them. Unfortunately, it doesn't make any difference. I'm looking for a fan. It doesn't do anything for them. If anything, they are staying a fool. If anything, it's not enough. Those are the only things you get. You hear that it's not enough. You find out that they're talking badly about you behind your back. Hey, prioritize yourself, protect yourself, choose yourself. Because the woe in this God's earth, people will live amongst. Yeah. Number 10 is invest. You can't eat all your money, all your salary. Where are you investing? Do you have an emergency fund? Where are you keeping your emergency fund? So what I've done is where I invest rather, I have an easy equity account that where I buy shares. I've chosen companies that I don't even know how I chose the companies I chose just to invest from, but yeah, I have like maybe 4 or 5 companies that I buy shares from monthly. So when I get paid, when they speak about paying yourself first, I'm sure we've all had this time. I was also just like, what do you mean pay yourself first? So what I've learned is paying yourself first, essentially it means when your salary comes into your account, how much are you taking and putting aside in investment. That's how you pay yourself. Paying yourself, yeah, that's it. So I have an Ellen Gray account, that's where I invest. I have an additional, I have a retirement obviously from work, but I have an additional retirement with Ellen Gray, that's where I invest. I have easy equities, I buy shares there. I bank with FNB as well. I also have a share account with FNB, and I used to have a 32-day account with FNB, but I wouldn't advise that you put your emergency on a notice account, because when you need money now on the spot, you unfortunately have to pay penalties for withdrawing the money. So it's not. There's an account called Money Market account with Ellen Gray. It's also great. There's Frank account. You also can also open a money market there on Frank account. Those are type of account you can use. So where you wanna put your emergency fund, it's where you can easily access it without being penalized. So, and also leave those 2 pots alone. Leave those 2 pots. I heard that people are withdrawing from their 2 pots. Leave the 2 pots alone, good people. Leave the 2 pots alone. I know it's tempting, but no man. Not unless you are really in the corner and you need money. Then yeah, you can use it, but just to withdraw it because you wanna buy a handbag. And no, don't do that. Don't do that. I do not recommend that. In fact, I'm judging you. Ooh, I left this thing open. I left it open. It's dry. Let's move. Number 11 is radical acceptance. In all of this and and that, please, just what I do is I love having conversations with myself. Like, what are my pain points? What is making me uncomfortable? Which areas in my life do I struggle in? And be honest. Be honest with yourself about those areas of your life where you struggle. Be honest with yourself. Is there things you can do to change that situation? Unfortunately, some of the things you can't change. Some of the things you just have to accept them. They are as they are. There's nothing you can do about it. You can accept them. You can learn to live with them. Make peace with it. Make sure it doesn't trigger you anymore. Even if the next person is bringing it, because you have that self-awareness, it doesn't trigger you. You can just like, it is what it is. It is what it is because you have had that conversation with yourself. So radical acceptance, very important. Like I said, have those conversations with yourself. Just sit down with yourself and have these conversations with yourself. Uzazi, man. Just know yourself and also accept yourself. Learn to accept yourself and make peace with who you are. Accept yourself. Love yourself as you are. And if there are areas where you can make changes, please do. Accepting yourself is not saying, oh yeah, I've accepted myself, I'm rude. No. What can you do to better yourself, to be a better human being, to be a nice experience, man, around people you are with? So that you can be a nice person to live with, to share this life and earth with. What can you do? What can you change? Yabon? So making an example with radical acceptance, you find those people who are saying, no, man, I'm a straight talker. Sometimes you are not a straight talker, sometimes you are rude. And to a straight talker, we are bachel, banok. Those people, they annoy me. Yo, okay, we are stela kulungile, but asukufuna ukuhlala nawe because when uhlezi uready ukusitshela. So yeah, man, it's all those things, and it's important just to know yourself, and it's important to know yourself, man, and make peace with who you are and accept yourself for who you are, and just be kind to yourself as well. Don't be harsh and judge yourself like, yeah, no one's gonna die. If something feels off in your body, please get it checked. Please get it checked out. Please go to the doctor. Sometimes I know, shame, I'm also guilty of this. You can feel, man, there's a pressing pain somewhere and you're ignoring it. Please don't do that. Get it checked out. Your health is important. You only have this one body, and if you are neglecting it and not taking care of it, unfortunately, hey, you might pay. So don't ignore your body. Your body is communicating with you. Your body is telling you. Don't ignore it. Number 13 is friendships. I always say some people are in our lives for a season, and if that season comes to an end, as painful as it is, let's just learn to accept it, learn to make peace with it. We don't have to be enemies. We do not have to be enemies. We can coexist. We don't have to be enemies. We can just love them from a distance. As friends, we will hurt each other. Let's have grace for each other. Because if there's one thing about us, we can forgive abafana. Let's forgive each other as well. And also, on a serious note, when it comes to friendship, you know, there are seasons where you might be going through something. I think if you watch my vlog, I think my 3 vlogs back, I'd mentioned that I felt like God didn't bring me someone to help me navigate this time I'm going through in my life. You might ask, how do you know that you have someone allocated to help you? You know, sometimes you might have a friend you've always been friends with, but somehow you just suddenly you get close to them and you find that it's easy to open up to that particular friend and you can share, and somehow they also just know what to say and when to say it. They always check on you at the right time. That's your angel that's sent for you during that or whatever period you're going through to help you navigate. The sad things about such situations is once their assignment is done, once they've done what they came to do to help you with during that time, unfortunately the friendship it doesn't have to end. You guys don't have to be enemies. It's just a matter of acknowledging it. Oh, this person was in my life to help me go through this season of my life, and as a person who was there in another person's life is also saying, oh, I was also in this person's life just to help them go through this season because I was the only one who was able to help them carry that load. It doesn't have to make you guys enemies. It doesn't have to. The relationship, once that season is done, unfortunately there's nothing you can do. There's nothing that brings you guys together. You guys will find that you were close because that thing was bringing you together, but it has been resolved. It's over. So there's nothing that bringing you guys closer like this. So it doesn't mean you have to discard each other now and talk bad about each other. Uguti, yeah, I was there for them. You can still be friends. You can every now and again check up on each other. Hi friend, how are you doing? And be quick to acknowledge when that is happening. Because, oh, okay, there's a shift. And the shift sometimes doesn't mean now they're bad people to you, they're gossiping about you. No, it's because their season and their assignment pertaining to your life has unfortunately come to an end. And it doesn't mean their entire existence have come to an end in your life, because you might still go through something. Maybe they might still go through something later. You are the one who will be able to help them carry, vice versa. You know, so that's how I look. That's how I navigate friendship. That's how I look at it. Some friends, you'll be able to talk to them every day, and that's fine. Some, unfortunately, you won't be able to talk every day. The important thing is just being there for your friends, love your friends, and be a good friend in whichever way. Just try, man. It's hard. We adults, friendship are difficult. We are working. We have things. We are going through our own things. It's tough. We are not the only one going through. We are all going through. So yeah, my battery is dying. Let me just charge my battery and we'll continue. Also, talking about friendship, don't be that friend, man, that difficult friend. No, that's difficult friend. Now we must be scared of you. We can't say no to you because we're now be an easy person, man. Be an easy person to share this life with. Don't be uptight. Don't be uptight as a human being. Don't be uptight as a human being. Just be easy. No one is gonna die. No one is dying. People might be there for you. Sometimes people might not be there for you, and it's fine. Fine. Bakhona abangani abajwayelana kabi. Truth be told, bakhona abangani abajwayelana kabi, and those ones we unfortunately sometimes are forced to write them off because sometimes the behavior, you're just like, what behavior is this? Where did you grow up? You are behaving like this. How? No, man. Just be a lovely human being. Just be a lovely human being that we enjoy living and doing this life with. Yeah, but it makes life easy, man. It makes life easy. It makes life easy. And I think I wanna put an eyeshadow. Yep, I'm gonna wear an eyeshadow. Just. And we are done. Those are the 13 things I wanted to share with you guys today. And if you also have some life lessons or things that you've gone through and you want to share, please drop them in the comment section. So, but the point of this video was just to know what, just to remind each other to be responsible for our lives, to take care of ourselves and those around us, and just be lovely human being. Nice human being to share this life with. You don't want to be that person we are all running away from. or we are scared of now we are scared of you because yay windlavin. No man, just be considerate human being, kind human being, and in your kindness do not neglect yourself. In your kindness, don't be a people's pleaser. Take care of yourself, be firm, ungadlali ngawe, fight for yourself, and make sure that you are okay. When all is said and done, you are okay. That's very important. Yeah, man. Love you so much. Thank you for spending this time with me. And I will see you on the next one. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't.